It's now time for What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the City of Asheville, with the host, Mr. Sam Parada, and here he is.
Good afternoon, Asheville, and welcome to What's Up Asheville at WRES Radio 100.7 FM, a radio show discussing projects and initiatives at the City of Asheville. I'm your host, Sam Parada, Communication and Public Engagement Specialist with the city, and today I have a very special guest. She has been one of my friends with the city for a long time now, before I got into my new position. Her name is Lauren Abe, and she works with the HR department in the Up of the city on the sixth floor? Sixth floor. And please introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
Great. Thank you, Sam. It's great to be here today. I feel very fortunate to be in my role. I work with the People, Culture, and Development team, and we're focused on professional development, leadership development, creating a great place for employees to work, and also looking at data. So how do we make informed decisions based on the information that we have?
And what is average day in the life of Lauren?
Great question. Every day looks different, which makes it interesting. I love when I get to connect with individuals to find out more about the culture at the City of Asheville and how do we focus on those areas of strength and continue to build on them, and where are the areas that we want to grow into. So I love connecting with our team members across the organization, also planning for leadership development and professional development courses, taking a look at where do we need to grow, and what kind of materials and resources do we need to put in place to help propel that vision, and then also working with the data team. So we're really trying to look at our HR data and have that information ready for our leaders and for our employees so that we can use that for good decision making.
All right, so you meet up with different departments. Was that like different meetings throughout the day, or do you plan ahead and create a plan for different departments?
Yes. Well, I like to invite myself to anyone who wants to connect with me, because I really want to get to know the culture, because I feel like that's so important. I started this thing called Culture Conversations. So each week I try to meet with someone I've never met with, either virtually or in person. And then at the end of that meeting, I have them tell me who I should meet with next.
Oh, yes. So it's like a telephone game of yes. What's going on at the city?
Yeah, and it's been great because I've been able to get to know folks that I wouldn't naturally be in a meeting with.
Right.
And so really getting out there and listening to different stories, learning more about the history of the city, given that I'm still relatively new in my position.
Yes.
Yes. So
Lauren and I got in at around the same time in January, and you'll meet people that have been working for 1 or 2 years, and they still say they're new, and that every day is completely different. And that's something that I really appreciate about working for the city. Just having that what's the opposite of monotone? Like flexible, different.
The excitement.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I guess I won't be on that show of yours because we met back in March or something. So I can't apply for that.
I would love to have that culture conversation with you. You've great
Sweet.
insight. Yes.
All right. So we host each other sometimes. So Lauren, then when you work with a department, what kind of resources do you offer? How do you propel this culture? What do you call it?
Focusing on our culture, focusing on leaders, and it looks different across the organization. I feel like HR is not one size fits all. So really getting to know the different cultures in the different areas and knowing the styles of different leaders. One of the cool things that I've been working on with one of my colleagues, Maida, is new leader transition. So when a new leader comes to the organization, how do we help jumpstart that relationship between them and their team members so that they have an understanding of the history, where they need to focus their energy,
right,
and really setting them up for success up front. So that was one cool initiative that Maida really led and that I've been able to support. And from there, we're really trying to grow several different classes and pathways for leadership development and professional development.
So I imagine, the city has been working hard on creating a more equitable environment I assume you help a lot or look into how to, do you work with the equity departments?
I do. I get to partner with them, and it's really exciting. One of the ways that I partner with them is through the Asheville Fire Department. They have a diversity, equity, and inclusion group, and we get to look at that, looking at different ways that we can support equity and inclusion in the department. And one of the cool things that we're working on right now is looking at a new HR system that will really support us in understanding our data and how we're equitable and where we have opportunities for improvement. So in terms of succession planning, how are we planning that out to ensure that it's equitable? How do we find the right mentors and role models for those individuals who may not see someone in their line of work that they could, or that looks like them? So
Right.
really helping to use data to make informed decisions of how we address some of the concerns with equity and inclusion.
So you were talking about leadership roles and stuff like that, but is there something similar for people who are not up in the chain of command, like someone new, someone who maybe doesn't have the background, but they want to find a passion in their new line of job, or they're even thinking of applying for the city? Is there some sort of project or plan to work towards giving them that access to develop professionally?
Absolutely. So we are looking at several different things. One thing that's further down the road is that mentorship opportunity to have a formal program so that those who are interested in different paths can take a look at and see what that looks like and getting the support to move forward. We also, one of the things that one of my colleagues, Maida, also created is after someone doesn't get an interview, so how do we support that internal candidate? So what resources can we provide them because they might not be ready for a position? So how do we help cultivate or how do we help them grow in their current roles so that when another position comes up in their line of interest, that they're ready to be that person and apply?
And is that done through education or how is it done?
Yes. So we created a resource for leaders, and it's posted on our intranet. And so that way, when someone internal applies and they're not quite ready for that position, that leader has some resources on how do I help this person grow? What kind of conversation do I need to have with them next? So that they feel supported, that they're really going to have a career with the city, not just a job, but really being able to grow and thrive within the organization.
I love that you use that word because that's what thriving at work you called it,
Yes.
and it's just a way to make it better for our employees. And anyone coming into work for the city should have the same expectations as an employee to experience the benefits and the growth potential within the city.
Yes, I feel very fortunate. Every day I wake up and say, I get to go to work and have so much fun working on all these amazing projects. And I want everyone else to have that same level of enthusiasm when they come to work for the city.
And I think that I can be a good example about that because, as you know, I came into the city as a temp IT person. I was working with the help desk, just making sure that anyone having technical issues were getting their needs met. And however, it wasn't the job for me in the sense that I didn't have the proper training to move up. And over time, I found an internal, a different position with the city, communications. And it was a very fluid and easy process for me to change it. I got help along the way. And, that was within both departments. HR helped me a lot too. So it's a very friendly way to, find exactly what you need to do, what you're good at, and just go from there.
Yes, and I love your story. And that's what I hope all employees can find, that they find love in their current role. And if it's not the right position for them, how do we support them in finding that next role so that they can thrive and feel excited?
Yeah, and that's something too. I've had different jobs in the past where if something came up, I would be afraid to go to either my manager or boss or supervisor or whatever, because then there's a fear that, they're going to fire me. And, oh no, I'm going to have to look for a new job. But I feel like here it's, we want to see our people succeed, because if we don't succeed, then we're not really serving the city. And we really need to step up and say, hey, this doesn't work, let's fix it.
Absolutely. I think that's so great. Yeah, we really want to create that culture where we're really supporting someone throughout their career, wherever they're going to go next. And hopefully they're going to stay within the city because we have so many amazing people.
We really do.
Yes.
The other day I was walking on the street and someone said hello to me and I was like, oh man, where have I seen you before? I know we've talked. I think I'm trying to put a name to the face, but there's just so many people and so much stuff you do, and it's that friendly demeanor most of the time. So really appreciate that aspect. But so you've been working with this professional development, leadership, training roles. What else does HR do? Other divisions within your department?
Yes. So we have 3 different areas. So we've got benefits and compensation as one of the areas. And then we also have the HR business partners and recruitment area. And then we have my area, which is the development and the HR data. So
then, so you wouldn't hire someone?
I do only on my own team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So different. So that's something too that I feel some people don't fully understand within the city. Not only do we have different departments within the city, but we also have different divisions within each department as well. And it's funny because we were just talking about this earlier. There's someone, Christina Israel, who I've interviewed here before. I could not tell you exactly what her day-to-day looks like. I cannot tell you exactly what she does. I could not do justice to explain what she does. And, she works in my department in a different, office, but we talk often. And I think that's the beauty, too, of, everyone's doing something different. And there's just so much variety in the opportunities that you have and what you can do.
Absolutely. And I love getting to specialize. It's so much fun, really getting to go deep in an area. I'm also in school right now focusing on organizational behavior. And so getting to read the articles and see it in practice just is so fulfilling to me.
I love it. And I love that you bring that up too, because it's something that I wanted to ask you or just talk about. You're in school right now.
Yes.
And your time is very constrained, I think I want to say, and you still have the time and energy to be positive at work. And how has the city helped you manage that time and expectations?
The city is so great about that. And I was actually talking to someone on my team earlier about that's one of the things that we really need to advertise to applicants is just the focus on work-life integration. And so we have a great schedule and we have great benefits. One of the great benefits is the comp time that we get. And so being able to manage both work and school has been fantastic. It's been so nice to have a supportive leader and supportive department, being able to do that. I don't have to wake up at 4:00 a.m. every day to do homework. I get some other flexible time as well, which is really helpful.
Yeah. So this is something that happened to me too. When I was working with IT, we had a more specific schedule. I had to be here at 7, if I remember right. I had to wake up early and then, do my day-to-day. I have to be in the office. But at the same time, if something comes up, if I have to leave the office in a mini emergency or whatever, I can go. I feel confident that I can go to someone and say, hey, I need to go for a few. And they'll say, we got you.
Yes, we definitely have that culture at the city, which I love, that we're supportive of each other, that we really focus on the individual first and support them throughout whatever they're going through.
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you have your benefits, which I really like. And it sounds right now that this whole conversation has moved into apply for the city. We're great, but it really is. It's a different experience from different jobs that I have had. I feel very fortunate to have some freedoms. My boss is not always on top of me telling me what to do because the expectations were set, and if I don't meet them, then we talk about it. There's no fear of I'm going to lose my job over something like that. So it's really a different experience and a positive environment to work for. So I really appreciate all you have done for us, Laura,
Thank
and I guess your department too. I haven't had a lot of personal time to meet with everyone, but I feel like I shouldn't have to, and that's positive. When you don't have to meet with HR, that's a good thing.
Well, I want to change that so that we are seen in a positive way. I feel like HR as a professional has been seen as like, run when HR is coming. But I really want to be out there and engaging and really focusing on how do we focus on leader performance, team performance, individual performance, and really shifting that mindset away from like the punitive policy type stuff
the
into
bureaucracy
right,
of it,
into that positive, like we're here to support your growth and development, and really helping everyone flourish. So, yes.
So how do you see, in your perfect view of the future, how do you see HR changing, or at least your division, the more interactive one? What would be a day-to-day basis for Lauren in a few months?
I love that question. I feel like it can go in so many different directions. Right now, we're looking at a new HR platform, which hopefully will give us some more tools, give leaders more tools, and also HR more tools, so that way we can be out within the departments that we serve and really engaging, hearing those stories and understanding where we need to focus our efforts. So I think that we have so many exciting possibilities right now, which is what I love, is just looking at the possibilities and thinking about how do we then navigate.
So it sounds to me like your position, you're looking at it from... we're having some issues with the headset. You're looking at it from the perspective of like community engagement, but within the employees.
Yes, we are looking to create frictionless experiences for those who are applying for positions and for those that are within the city. I think one of our greatest wins this year was the Employee Fun Day.
Yes.
It was such a blast to see so many folks that I've met over Google Meet in person, and just see folks, hearing the conversation, seeing the laughter, folks that were meeting folks that they hadn't seen for a long time with COVID, and also forming new relationships. It was just such a positive experience, and I have to thank Jack Henry, who's on my team, for just putting that together, and the whole team that was involved with that event.
So HR put together a fun day at, what was the name of the park?
MLK, the park over there.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know much about parks. We'll have to call another Parks and Rec person to come into the show and tell us about it. But they put together, some food. We had a kickball tournament, like a fun inflatable house, and it was really nice to just be out there on the clock and take an hour or two out of the day to go hang out with all the people that you usually work with. And, he's like, hello, Mr. Whatever. But today it's a more personal, friendly experience. And I also enjoyed that some people from, the public came to check out the bouncy house and have their kid jump in and just have fun. And, absolutely have, that's what we're here. We want to offer a positive experience to as many people as possible, as much as possible too. And if you're curious, neither Lauren's team nor my team won the kickball game. So maybe for a future day.
I guess HR is not meant to play kickball. We've got some other teams that...
Neither are the pencil pushers. And that brings me to, an interesting point. The community, we want to hear from you, and I say this every time, and I hope that the listeners are going to check out our website at ashevillec.gov and see in the engagement section, and sign up to Your Voice, Your Choice. This is something that is very beneficial for us as a city entity to be able to make sure that we're doing our job. And I'm wondering if there's something similar with HR, like if I have an area of interest in the future, like maybe I can jump in or sign up for something, or how do I reach out with something like that? If I want to learn more, who do I go to?
Yes, I always say reach out. I'm happy to connect in any way. Our team has an email address, thrive@asheville.nc.gov. So anytime employees have ideas or want to know more about something or get involved, they're welcome to sign up for that. And we also want to provide more opportunities for employee voice. So that's something that we'll look at with our new HR system. How can employees provide feedback or share things that we should know as an organization?
Okay.
So that's in the works.
In the making.
And yes.
And so I'm wondering now, HR, it's a kind of difficult topic to talk about on a radio show aimed at the public, the people who live in the city, because HR tends to be more of an internal thing within businesses. Do you ever see the public interacting with HR directly, or is that not something that would happen?
We do want to get out there and be involved in the community. We have one role within HR that's community facing, so that way we can make connections with applicants and our broader community. And we also try to work with, or we go out to the different job fairs and other events to share more information about what we do as a city.
And do you ever hear feedback from the public in general about the process, how to make it easier perhaps, or like any advices?
I think we do all the time. I'm not on that front.
That's right.
Yes, but one of the things that I think is so great about our HR team is that when we hear things, we want to make a difference. Mm-hmm. So every time I've heard about something, I'm always like, how do we start addressing this? One person that I met with recently had a question about transferring their sick time from another organization. And so immediately I went in, found out more information, and want to make it easier. So we're in the process of creating a guide for someone who may be transferring in, so that way it's seamless for them. So that's just one example of like when we hear something, we want to act on it and ensure that we're improving the process for everyone.
Right. Yeah, I love that. And if you're listening in and are wondering, come apply. If you love everything that Lauren has been talking about, if you want to maybe get a new career, or I don't know, maybe just start a new one from the ground up, just come talk to us. The HR department will be here to answer questions, and I'm sure they can put you in contact with departments to get a foot in the door maybe, or just learn about what we do.
Absolutely, yes. We definitely are here to engage and connect in any way.
Love it. And remember, Lauren is in school right now. Wish her luck in exams and stuff like that. And keep in mind that, even though she's in school, even though she has a life outside of work, she makes it work, and that's our aim. And that's really what I've been trying to get to today. Just come learn about us. We're people, and we want to hear from you. We might even want you working with us. I know Asheville is full of different cultures and personalities, and everyone's invited to the city, because we cannot make a difference without all the voices, including the city, being heard. So yeah, is there anything else, anything that you want to talk about, or like something fun that's happened working with the city?
Oh, it's all fun. I guess on a personal note, I just passed my exam, so I think everyone has been sending luck.
Congratulations.
So that's been great. But yeah, I just, I feel like one of the things that I'm so grateful for are all the amazing people that I've been able to work with. It was really hard for me. I'm a people person, and so when I was orienting online, I was wondering like, who are all my people and how do I get to know folks? But everyone has been so friendly and open and inviting, and so I feel like I was welcomed from the start, and
yes,
that makes a huge difference at the beginning of your career.
It really does. Yep. I was working from home for a while until I applied to the city, and when I did, my first reaction was, wow, even though I messed up big time on my first day, everyone is welcoming me as if I've already worked here for years.
Yes.
So I love that. And I remember too, the very first day I met you, I went to your office to, I guess, install your computer or something. You were having internet issues.
Yep.
And I was like, oh wow, someone from HR, because you were the first person from HR who I met in person too. Like someone from HR who is actually very nice.
I think we've got a great team.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm working with Jack. You mentioned him in some different projects and stuff, and it's always such a relief to see that we have nice people working for us right now.
Absolutely. And that's part of that, going back to changing the perception of HR, really focusing in on how do we cultivate that experience that everyone can thrive and feel good about and get excited to come to work.
So come to the city and thrive, make a new career, join us. We want you here.
Yes.
And be on the lookout. I think sometime soon we'll have a more interactive, engaging HR recruiting process. If I don't know, I don't want to speak out of line, but
Yes, so we are working on our HR processes, and we definitely welcome feedback because we want it to be frictionless, and we want those in the community to know that we're listening.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Lauren. It's always a pleasure to just go up to the HR department and just talk for a little bit and see what's going on in your life and see what's happening within the city. We're always evolving, always learning, and we're doing all this for you, not you, Lauren, but for you, the listeners of the city. We want to make sure that we're doing as good a job as we can, and I know sometimes the road gets a little rocky and things don't happen the way we want them to, but we're always here for you, and that's the point that we're always trying to make. So please sign up for Your Voice, Your Choice. Tell us what you want to be involved in, and just let us know, hold us accountable. Are we doing a good job, or can we do better? And if we're doing a good job, you can also tell us. It's always nice to hear that. That's all of the time we have for today with Lauren. Thank you so much for coming today. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Sam. It's always great speaking with you.
And that's all the time we have for What's Up Asheville. Thank you so much for listening, and please don't forget to participate in the different projects that we have at the city and stay informed about our latest news. Visit our website at ashevillec.gov to learn more about our different departments and what we can do for you. We have a tab open on the very top. It says departments. We have a lot. I always find it funny when something happens with the water department or public works or whatever department, and everyone thinks that it's me for some reason, like the communications team. And it's a good, if you have a few minutes, just look at all the resources that we have, and we have a lot of departments that do many different things. So make sure to check that out, and stay tuned, and we'll be back to talk about another city project in the near future right here on WRES 100.7 FM. Take care of one another, Asheville.
You've been listening to What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the City of Asheville in collaboration with WRES 100.7 FM. This program will re-air every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30. Thank you for listening.